I've been saying since the early days of Nomad Capitalist that is not only someone who talks about second citizenship, but is someone who is a consumer and really a geek of second citizenship. From the early days of Nomad Capitalist, I've said prices for citizenship will go up. You've got more interest from people in the Middle East, in Russia, in China, in new markets like South Asia, now Latin America, and our audience as well, people from the United States and Western countries. So now you've got yet another program, another citizenship option where they're saying, we want to raise the price. I'm going to tell you what it is and why it matters. Hey guys, I'm Andrew Henderson. If you'd like to learn more how the Nomad Capitalist team can personally help you not only get your second citizenship, but create a holistic offshore plan to keep more of your own money and be free, learn more about how we do that at nomadcapitalist.com. Now, what you've seen in the last couple of years in the citizenship game, in my opinion, is a bit deceptive. You saw a couple of years ago what we called the Caribbean price war. Okay, you had five countries in the Caribbean that are all in the citizenship by investment business. One of them lowered their price to bring in money after a hurricane, and then basically it became a race downwards. Donation investments went down, investments in real estate went down, and they basically kept matching each other on lower and lower prices. And so now there's basically talk of a price floor. I don't think you'll see the prices going any lower than the $100,000 donation. And in fact, I recently posted on our Instagram about the now suspended Comoros citizenship program, which was a $45,000 donation. I said, you will never see anything like that again. You had Belize and Peru offering their citizenship in years past for less than that, and those are now pretty decent passports, right? So the price of citizenship overall, in my opinion, is going to go up. And so there's one program now that is an interesting deal for some people that I believe will go up in value again, and that is Turkey. Now, Turkey came in a couple years ago. They way overpriced their program. They said if you invest $1 million in real estate, you can become a citizen. What we saw was people who do exactly what I say not to do. You go and buy from developers, you go and buy from expat agencies with nice-looking websites, and you overpay. You know, one of the things that we've built as we've built out our team is literally an entire division where all we do is research properties in the local language with a network of local agents that we go and find on the ground, because that's how you get the good deals. And so people were paying $1 million for properties that some of our agents in Istanbul said, yeah, those people came to us, they're worth $350. Okay. And so Turkey dramatically overpriced their investment at $1 million. The goal, in my opinion, was to bring back the Arab investors from the Gulf who used to invest in Turkey as kind of a moderate Muslim safe haven and had stopped due to some of the political issues. So later they came to their senses and they lowered the price to $250,000. We talked about that not so long ago. And there was an enormous amount of interest in the program. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people have now been from the program. By some metrics, the #1 program of 2019. The Turkey Citizenship by Investment. And the cool thing about Turkey was, while there are a lot of caveats for the kind of property and like how it has to be valued and how the money and it's in dollars, but really it's kind of in lira, there are a lot of boxes you need to check to make sure you satisfy to actually get your citizenship. It's not like you're buying some kind of garbage real estate that's overpriced. You're not buying a share in a hotel room on some island somewhere that you will likely never be able to sell, certainly for what you paid for it. You're just buying any kind of normal property, and there are a number of restrictions, but you're buying any kind of normal property, and people liked that. They also didn't slap some huge government fee on it, the way that a lot of the islands do for their approved real estate. So by all metrics, Turkey is not the best passport out there, but as part of a passport portfolio, it could be very interesting. Well, here's the bottom line. Sadifa, who's our real estate team leader who speaks Turkish, was recently in Istanbul with someone that were helping get their Turkish citizenship. They were looking at properties and filtering out all the bad ones and just doing a tour for a couple days, helping this gentleman find something. The word now is we want to raise the price. We want to raise the investment in Turkey to $330,000, up from $250,000. Now, what I predicted recently was eventually Turkey will institute a fee. This has happened in other programs. For example, Bulgaria had a bond investment program and then later upped the fee. Latvia, a number of years ago, had a real estate investment, basically a golden visa or an investor immigrant program where you could get a European Union residence permit by buying property. And back about 6 years ago in Latvia, the government fee was something like 120 euros. It was literally a joke. It was like a stamping fee. And then they realized, we have something of value here. We have people coming and doing it, and they raised the fee. And here's what happens. Even now that, for example, Latvia kind of fell off the radar. It picked back up last year with a lot of investors who were starting companies there, but the real estate option has really not garnered much more interest. They have not lowered the fee. Okay. So even as you see more inventory in the residence and citizenship space, you generally almost never see fees retreating. The Caribbean was really kind of a rare instance. And so now you have Turkey, which is, overpriced it. They thought they were worth far more than they actually are. Then they came to a normal level. 250 was lower than I thought they would be. I thought they would be around 300. And then it came out 250. Now they're saying we're going to raise it. Now, is an extra $80,000 the end of the world? No, because you've got a city in Istanbul, the chief city, of course, in Turkey, that has lots of people in it. I mean, this is one of the biggest cities in the world. People are moving there from the relatively large domestic market that is Turkey. People move to Istanbul to get jobs. People want to live in the city. They're building industry. There's a lot of things going for it. Obviously, the currency has been an issue. That's something that concerns people. You have seen the currency, no doubt, get beaten up. Obviously, some people just don't like the idea of being Turkish. But I think, putting the money in, I don't think that you'll do too poorly over the course of the next 3 years, or even if you had to hold it a little bit longer. But the bottom line is they're raising it. Other countries are talking about raising it. In Portugal, they've talked about raising the 500,000 euro minimum for their golden visa to up to €1 million in the most desirable areas like Lisbon, or even eliminating those areas entirely. And so, here's what I always tell people, whether it's a bank account somewhere, whether it's a residence program, whether it's a passport program, prices go up. Number one, some countries like Canada have just seen, is this worth our time? Canada has had different government bond programs, and I think they've asked themselves, do we really need more people investing in government bonds? I mean, even if we're not paying them any interest, even if it's zero coupon, what's the great economic impact for our country here? Is it worth it? They also say there are new programs, and let's raise our price. Or they'll say, hey, we have so many people, supply and demand, let's raise the price again. Australia and New Zealand have been some of the biggest advocates of this. They've raised their prices a lot. So all around the world, countries are raising their price for investment and immigration. And here's what happens. The bank you can get an account at for $1,000 deposit today is $50,000 5 years from now. Happened to me recently. I'm still grandfathered in. If you want to get in now, it's not $1,000, it's $50,000. Okay. Residence programs, sometimes they simply go away. Other times they're dramatically increased. We've talked about Georgia. Real estate visa used to be $35,000. Now it's $100,000. Okay. Sometimes these countries, they increase it to the point where it's no longer a good deal, but yet having residence or citizenship in that country could be a really good thing to have. And so my point is, figure out what you need and take some action now. Now, we help people with that here at Nomad Capitalist, but whether you work with us or someone else or do it on your own, my point is very simple. Prices in this whole Nomad Capitalist world of services, they go up. There's incredible new demand from all around the world as you have more uncertainty, as you have more socialist politics, as you have more wealthy people who just want a plan B. They want to protect themselves. No one's going to be waiting around for you. Prices are constantly going up. If you find a good deal, don't expect it'll be there in 6 or 12 months because it may not be. Turkey, just the latest example of that. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.